My name is Darren Breeze. I'm a professional wood turner from England. Yeah, it used to be my hobby. It's now been my full-time job. I turn every day. I have a small shop in England and turn my work, sell from the shop. I started to turn for relaxation. It grew and grew and grew, and now everything in my life revolves around wood turning. Around. At the moment, I'm in Hessen Park in Germany, working with KS. My first visit to Germany, and it's been a fantastic weekend. I've loved everything. Germany, the people, the team, everything's been fantastic. I started wood turning in 2008, so 14 years. Started very small, and within a few months I was addicted like many people, and I wanted to turn bigger and bigger and bigger. So I now have three big lathes, so I can turn almost anything I want. Now I'm using the Simon Hope tools. I use them in my demonstrations around the UK as well, because they're small and compact. I can have one tool, but I have two different grinds. I find they last for the whole demonstration, so they are my go-to tools. For roughing out, I will go for the 16mm double-ended bowl gouge, and for final cuts tends to be the 13mm. And my other favourite tool is his little point tool with a small round skew on the other end for fine detail work. The person who inspired me to start originally was Nick Agar. I saw a piece of his work in a magazine and I thought, wow, I want to try something like that. And as you may be able to see by my t-shirt, his influence is evident in my big scale pieces. But then virtually every turner I ever meet will influence me in some way, a small way, a big way. So always learning, never stop learning. I can't think of... I did turn one for a festival, music festival, a big blank 5-foot, 1500mm by 1200mm. I thought that would be good for the festival. Unfortunately, I was using my Wadkin RS8 lathe from England, made in 1946, weighs 500 kilograms. And when they showed me my pitch, where to put my lathe and my tent, it was on the grass, and for 24 hours my lathe was sinking into the ground.
Oh, shit.
So that became a bit of a headache.
Yeah, okay. So not a piece, but your tool, your machine.
The situation, obviously we all make decorative firewood, so if something goes wrong, burn it, forget about it. I don't, not very often I think about work and think I should have done this, should have done that. If I don't like it, it gets burnt. Well, this one here was one of the first really colourful wall hangings I made, so I used that for my my brochures. But I also made pieces for a competition in England called Wizardry and Wood, and I won a first prize in one of the competition, and got money and a medal and certificates. So obviously that, I was still an amateur then, so as an amateur to win a competition, that was a very proud moment.
Can you send me a picture later?
Yeah. I think it's actually on my brochures, I think, so. But I'll find you the picture and send it. My first lathe was a Nova 1624. But I was told 3 weeks later. Yeah, I was told 3 weeks later that I had already outgrown it. I was already turning pieces with the swivel headstock over 2 foot diameter within 3 weeks. Maybe too big a job to start with, but I wanted to learn. I was focused. I want to do this. So that lathe I had for 6 weeks before I bought my next lathe. From then to now, obviously the biggest thing is I've gone from having a full-time job and turning evenings and weekends and things. I'm now a full-time turner. I've been featured in Wood Turning magazine. I've had some videos done. I've had a small documentary of me done by a local filmmaker, which was recently shown at an Ireland film festival and to quite a lot of praise apparently. So my work now, it's all to do with turning now. It's still my hobby. Even on my days off, I quite often end up in the workshop playing with things for myself rather than for sale.
And like in the scene or the development of wood turning?
Oh, I think the scene has changed dramatically since I've started. The amount of different tools available, different colourings, different texture techniques. It's constantly evolving, which I think is really important. For the whole wood turning community, I find brown and round is okay, as long as the wood is beautiful. But turning a very simple bowl or a very boring bowl out of a very boring piece of wood, I find is almost pointless. Good for practice for beginners. I use a lot of sycamore and ash. It tends to be quite plain, so I try and embellish. A boring piece of wood with colour and texture, but still showing it's wood. Occasionally I have the mental block if I get really tired, and I go into the workshop and I look at wood and look at the lathes and I just cannot decide what to do. So then I spend time organising the shop and doing stock takes and things. So it's all still revolving around wood turning, not necessarily making shavings. I think the most important thing is to get some proper tuition right at the beginning. It can be dangerous. Get a basic one-day lesson with a turner or go to a club. After that, be careful with watching YouTube videos unless it's from a source that's been recommended. There are many bad wood turners on YouTube who do things, and us professionals are, oh my word, what on earth? So, yeah, when you buy tools, go to a reputable dealer like KS in Germany. If you're in the UK, maybe direct to Simon Hope Wood Turning. Buy decent quality tools. If you can buy 10 tools off eBay or Amazon for £20, they are going to be no good and a complete waste of money.
Okay, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Darren,
Great to meet you, Jan.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
I've just sent you a friend request as well, so at some point.
Okay. So I haven't seen my Facebook or whatever it is yet. So
no.
I haven't seen Simon. Will you say
he's gone to get the car, so he'll be back.
I can see him.
Yeah, I'll say he said goodbye. Yep. Yep.